Thank you for that insightful analysis, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. The first quarter for the Raptors was fairly even. At the end of the period, they held a 2-point lead. They couldn't hold on to the slim lead they had at the start of the second quarter and headed into the locker room with the game all knotted up. And let's get your thoughts, big fella, on the Raptors.
This second half is gut check time for the defense. Allowing over 60% shooting is weak sauce. Weak barbecue sauce, weak Butterfinger sauce, weak sauce, period. The coach needs a light fire under these guys. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it, Ernie.
Kenny, how do you think San Antonio played?
It's always a little bit of a challenge playing on the road, but they came in mentally prepared and physically prepared. The energy in the arena was cave in.
And that's going to do it for us here. The second half of action is coming your way.
Welcome back to Canada. The famous Toronto sign here in Nathan Phillips Square, just in front of City Hall. And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Look at John Wall. What a contribution so far.
Yeah, so far they haven't found an answer for him. A scoring machine here in that first half.
Defensively coming in, you know he's going to be tough to stop, but I'm still waiting to see a plan to even contain him.
And when it comes to big men who can really handle the basketball, there aren't many of them, but there are a few, and they're pretty good at it, the bigs.
You know, I think the best at this, and we don't consider him a big, but he's close to 7 feet, is Kevin Durant.
Right.
Handling the basketball for a big. DeMarcus Cousins is really good. You look at guys like LaMarcus Aldridge, not bad. Blake Griffin, for his size, being able to handle the basketball. We have so many guys that have that skill set, and they're 6'10" and above.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the court for San Antonio, Robert Covington out there with Kevin McHale, and it's Michael Redd, and it's Wall, and it's Gasol, and at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Blue shots.
And that drops, so they now lead by 1.
It's interesting, Gasol entered the league as a big guy with raw tools. Now one of the most highly skilled centers in the game.
And Smitty, the three-point shot last season, not this best for him.
They rarely shoot a ton of threes, but the ones they take, they usually make at a high clip. They had a new starting point guard, and Kawhi Leonard only played 9 games. That won't help.
Getting the half off to a good start here already with some penetration.
Those are the kind of looks you want to get coming out of the break. So, lively chances in the paint.
Ese juego, ¿cuándo ese juego? Ese juego, ¿cuándo ese juego? ¿Cómo va el juego, Rino? ¿Cómo va el juego? Actualízame.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Left side, Towns. Back to James. Rebounded by Covington. Outside, Wall. Pass to McHale. Kicks it to Covington. Here's the 3. Rebound by the Raptors. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
All right, a chance to see stats for Karl Anthony Towns. Last season, he played outstanding. Put up about 21 points a game, 12 rebounds, and 2 assists. And for him, it's all about getting better each time he takes the floor.
Also, he needs to avoid distractions on the court and off the court. Just focus on the job at hand.
Some changes for Toronto. Jonas Valanciunas, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Aaron Gordon in for LeBron. San Antonio also making some changes. Miles Turner, he's checked in for subbed in for John Wall. McHale dishes to Fournier. Back to McHale. We've got 1:18 left to play in the third. To the inside. Covington kicks to Turner. Just 5 on the clock. Fournier for 3. He doesn't hit that one. Now Toronto takes it the other way. Gordon against Covington. Now here is Hill. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. And again, Toronto no luck. Harden against Red. Inside, here's McHale. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
The Toronto Raptors, they don't get enough credit for their defense. They were a top 5 team last year in opponent field goal percentage. And as a group, they close out well and get a hand up on every shot.
Grant, he's checked in for Toronto. Marcus Smart comes in for George Hill. The Spurs also changing it up. Paul Millsap is checked in for Robert Covington. And it's Valentine in for Michael Redd. And McHale drops them both.
It's a luxury to have a big man who can shoot free throws this way.
Harden outside. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
You know, it tells you something about Harden that he's led the league in free throw attempts so many times. This man is always in attack mode.
It's his first trip to the line. Free throw good from Harden. And both free throws good for James Harden.
This is where he feels 100% comfortable taking all the free points he can get.
Fournier against Harden. Fournier passes to McHale. 12 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. That shot off the mark. To the paint. Grant kicks to Smart. For the lead. And the miss. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Spurs lead by 2. And we're coming right back after this break. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
Let me tell you, when you can run offense through your bigs, you give the defense just another thing it has to try and take away.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. We've got Aaron Gordon. Grant is out there with Jonas Valanciunas. Then there's Smart, and it's Harden in at the point guard. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Here's Millsap. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Millsap's got the lead up to 4 now for the Spurs.
Very quietly, Paul Millsap just goes about his business. He's a tough competitor.
Here's Grant. Drains it from 17 feet out.
Big shot. As soon as he got an opening, boy, did he let it fly.
He doesn't need a second invitation. If the D's going to give him that much room, he'll jump at the chance to take the hero shot.
San Antonio calls timeout. Some changes for Toronto. Towns comes in for Valanciunas, and LeBron subbed in for Gordon. San Antonio also making some changes. Gasol comes in for Miles Turner, and John Wall subbed in for Valentine. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, during the last break, I listened to Greg Popovich talk to his team. This game is obviously close, could go either way, and he wanted to make sure that his guys were all on the same page and were all staying with the game plan in order to close this one out. Kevin?
All right, David, thanks.
One shot.
Here is Harden. Smart on the wing. And at the top of the key, Towns. Harden against Fournier. High, arcing shot. Harden's shot is good.
Yeah, I love watching Harden be aggressive inside. One of the most efficient scorers in our game.
And Wall kicks to Fournier. Down low. Stolen by Harden. James outside. And it's sent back by Millsap.
And Millsap, for his size, a pretty good rim protector.
Harden against Fournier. Wall looking for an opening. Just 5 to shoot. Over Smart. Here's Gasol. And the rejection by Towns.
And his foot movement is what makes Towns such a terrific shot blocker. He moves so well and can defend just about any position on the floor.
Fournier passes to McHale. But he gets it back.
I'll tell you, there's no quitting him when it comes to the offensive glass.
And so it's Harden bringing it up for the Raptors. Trailing by 5. And the Raptors call time here. They're behind by 5. There's 53 seconds left in the fourth. And now let's present our Jordan player of the game, John Wall.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hand.
Robert Covington's checked in for the Spurs. Red comes in for Fournier. To the middle. And McHale the basket on the assist by Michael Redd.
And we see it all the time, guys. You get the big lead, maybe check out mentally, but not tonight.
They have this game in hand, but they're still pouring it on.
It's blocked. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. Toronto calls timeout. They're trailing by 7. 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Seconds left to play here in the fourth. Covington. Here's Smart. He kicks to Valanciunas. Gordon for 3. Money! And now they trail by just 4.
Look at the big man Valanciunas showing off the playmaking skills.
And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
And San Antonio has possession, and he commits the intentional foul.
John Wall, 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
He hits the first one, and that puts them up by 5.
And Wall has said he wants to be in the MVP conversation moving forward. A terrific floor general with unreal athleticism.
And so both free throws are good, and it's a 6-point ball game.
And he just garnered a little bit more insurance there. Very confident as he's able to go up and knock those down.
The 3 from Hill. It's rebounded by Gasol.
And this is what he gives you, the ability to contest the shot without fouling.
Perimeter defense at a premium these days. You see the value in this kind of effort.
Robert Covington. Taking 2 shots.
And so he drops them both. It's an 8-point game. From deep-point range. And so it's San Antonio with the win. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, gee, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin, with Evan Fournier. Hey, Evan, does a win like tonight's against this...
David, thank you as always. And that about does it for the first game of the new NBA season. Now for Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA here on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
You